Good morning and welcome to 2022. Now I'm whispering because it's New Year's Day. It's about 7:30 in the morning and we're just about to head to Park Run. And guess who I'm waiting for? Yeah, you guessed it, he's late again. Anyway, the reason we're doing this video is because I'm going to be telling you all about my 2022 plan before the training plan. Bear with me on this one. Basically, I like to do a sort of journey on how 2022 is going to look, so then I can work out my training plan. I think you guys should be thinking along the same sort of lines, and I'll come on to it later in the video, because before that we've got to head to Stevenage and do New Year's Day Park Run. Okay, where are you? There you are. Right, so I'm in the playroom. Bear with me on this one this week, guys, because it's going to look awesome. And by the way, I enjoyed Park Run. So, quick switch around. Girls' playroom. Actually, you can't really see how messy it is in here. Scarlet Daisy, you need to clear out this playroom. This is why we're in the playroom. Whiteboard. So, I'm going to scrub off all this stuff, and then we're going to talk about, like I said, before you do a training plan, you need to know where you're going, where you're heading, and that kind of stuff. And using this board, we're going to put my journey for 2022 on here. Okay, right. So actually, I'm going to move you back a bit, and then I'll come in. So the way to do this, and this is a tip for you, right? So if you're thinking about 2022 and what your training plan looks like in terms of the start of the new year and all that kind of stuff, you need to work back. And whenever I'm doing a training plan, I always start with the goal in mind. So the goal in mind in 2022, let's put that there, is 3 hours, 45-hour marathon. All right? Okay, so 3 hour 45 marathon. Now, I then need to work backwards on how I'm going to get there. And this is the key, people. So, we start Jan the 1st. And like I said, this is the process I use for any training plan that I do. And if you're new to the channel, I'm a qualified athletics and running coach, right? So I do training plans for people and all that sort of stuff. So this is sort of some of the process that we use. So, I'm going to get a bad back bending down like this, aren't I? Anyway, so Jan the 1st. Now, in here, I know in May, is that May? That's about halfway, isn't it? I've got the Edinburgh Marathon, okay? Now, that will hopefully use that, but I put that there in terms of the timeline because that hopefully will come into there. But in April, we are now looking at the Brighton Marathon, right? Now, the Brighton Marathon was going to be the Newport Marathon in Wales, but the Newport Marathon is now happening in October. So I'm going to be going for Brighton. Now, Brighton is going to be a 20-mile run at super easy pace, and we'll do the last 6 miles afterwards. It doesn't really make any difference. We're not doing Brighton to run a time. We're doing Brighton basically because we want the bling. But it fits in to this because in here, I need a fast half marathon. So fast half. Now, I don't know when the date, so maybe you can help me out and let me know in the comments, but I think Cardiff is in March. So March fits perfectly into here. So I'm effectively going to use January and February as base building. Now I've got in February, I've got a 10k. You know, maybe we chase the time now, winter 10k. But whatever happens, I need a fast half. And again, this is this figures into what I'm trying to say about look at your training plan and put in races and build your schedule according to your goals. Okay, so 3:45 marathon. What do I need to do to get a 3:45 marathon? Well, I need to do a lot of speed work. I need to do a lot of tempo runs, lactate threshold pace run, medium efforts, that kind of stuff to build that underlying stamina and speed. So I need in here a fast half, because if I've got that in May, I need this to know where I'm at in terms of the first 8 weeks and what's happened, where I'm at, what's the base level like, and all those kind of bits, and then I can factor in after that. In June, we've got the Southend half, right? Now that will fall after Edinburgh, but that will be a gauge in terms of how quickly I've recovered. So that will ideally be a fast half, but it depends on what happens in Edinburgh. If I achieve the 3:45, I may give myself that as just a fun race. If I don't get it there, then it's back to school and it's back to cracking on and pushing for the faster times as we head towards the end of the year. Now I've just realised that I probably look like I'm talking this way. It's because I've got an LCD screen here, so apologies for I'm not looking at the camera, but sometimes it's easier to look in terms of where I'm writing, so big shout out. In terms of apologies. Right, so June, Southend half. So we're halfway through the year. So I've already built in here, basically, my schedule for the first part of the year. So the focus will be on January, February, getting, you know, the baseline back. March, fast half. April is a marathon, but it's a base builder in terms of the 20 mile and that lot. Then we've got race day, where we first shoot for the 3:45. We see what happens. If that comes off, I chill out in June. If it doesn't, we go at it and we pick the pace up. Because here, in October, we've got well, it's not the Virgin Money London Marathon anymore, it's something else. But in there is the London Marathon. So I then have to decide, is that going to be 3:45? Well, it's all dependent on what happens here. So the second half of the year, I can't really build out yet until I know what I achieve here. And this is some of the thought process that we use is in terms of building plans and goals, is to focus on sort of the shorter term goals and what you can control immediately. So that's why I've sort of built this first half of the year in with the aim of this. Now I do have backup plans now, and I've got races, you know, in October, in between June and October, which could, you know, I could then stick into here to use, depending, you know, like we've got some local 10k, some local half marathons and things like that. Whatever happens, I'll go into a training plan for that, but it's whether that goal has been achieved or not, because if I achieve that, I may then look to slash that and make that 3:30. Because I've achieved 3:45 here, I may go down to look at a 3:30 marathon. But my point, and hopefully, I don't know if I'm showing it or not, but the point of this video and what I'm trying to get across to you is before you start looking at your training plan and coming up with your 16-week plan, what you need to do effectively is look at what your goal is, identify what your goal is. Now, whether that is just to finish it and then work back, or, you know, your time, and then work back and then plug in your sort of intermediate goal. So then within my plan, as I said, the first 8 weeks, 8 weeks, 8 weeks, I'm looking to basically build the base, build the fitness, build the stamina, get the distance back into my legs, but under no pressure to run times. And then the middle part, which is probably the most important part of any marathon training plan, I'm looking at doing some speed work to see where I'm at in terms of the half marathon distance. I'm looking to do effectively a dry run, a dummy run in April before race day hits me in May. So I built the plan, or I built a plan that I can now stick into a plan to then work out what it looks like to get me to that start line and hopefully achieve that 3:45. So now, does that make sense? Hopefully it does. And thanks Scarlett and Daisy for loaning me your Playroom. But I think the reason I want to make this video, like I said to you, is because I think it's really important. Some of you guys, like me, and I used to do this, just go out and get a plan and just like pick it up and go for it. But I think if you're really trying to achieve a goal, like I'm trying to achieve in 2002, you need to have a bigger picture, a bigger process before you rush out and get that plan. So, you know, think about it, like I said, and work backwards, work out the journey. What does that look like in terms of achieving your goal? And hopefully this has helped. So I think the second part of this video, so next week's vlog, will be the actual training plan that I've put together for this. So when we look to when we look to now put that into a training plan, and then I'll show you what the training plan looks like once I've finished it. And I think that will probably be the second part of this video, so you know where we're at, what we're doing, and what we're going towards. But so looking immediately, the first part is January, February, which is that base building, working towards that quicker half marathon. Okay, right, I think that's it. Let me know in the comments if this was useful. Let me know in the comments if you've got any tips for people who may be starting out in the year with their journeys and how you're doing it and all that kind of stuff. But this is the way I like to work in terms of like laying it all out and that sort of stuff. But yeah, there you go. And also, let me know what you're training for in 2022. Be very, very interested to know. But that's it. I'll catch you on the next vlog. And before we go, I'll probably put some awesome B-roll. I'll just show you exactly what I wrote. If you didn't see it, I'll stick that up next. But I'll catch you guys later.